Mikey, thank you for having us here at Auto Farm.
You're very welcome.
You spoke earlier on about the journey and the people behind the cars.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about the 996 Turbo we have in front of us?
Yeah, so this is a new client to us and quite a nice entry into custodian with us really. He bought the car through another sales outfit and then spoke to them about doing some bespoke work on the car, obviously beyond their remit, and they recommended us, and that's how we got the job. And then we went through and spec'd the car kind of together with his recommendations of what he wanted. You know, the car came to us with a different front bumper, so it got the GT2 front bumper with the slats across the front.
Yeah.
And the brief kind of was, the colour was set from day one. He wanted the Brewster green, and just wanted to make it a little bit more OE plus. So he wanted the car to finish looking as if Porsche had made it exactly as it is now.
Brilliant. So as a plus, you've obviously changed some parts on the car. Is it right you put some RSS engine mounts on it? Is that
It's got
correct?
engine mounts in it. It's got KWs on it that just bring the stance of the car down. Just kind of 996 turbos. They sometimes sit a little bit too high, and sometimes the wheels are not quite perfectly filling the arches, but not too wide. So it's got some spaces just enough to fill the arches. Brought the height down a little bit. It was already a nicely spec'd interior car, so we've just added a few finishing touches. It's got an Alcantara roof lining, and then it's almost, you couldn't spot it straight away. It's got like a dark green seat belt in there, just as a nice little contrast when you get in. And then just replacing and refinishing stuff. Headlights, bonnet badge, all the little trims and things that hold the headlights in, all the stuff behind that have been changed. So all the headlight trays are brand new, all the new adjusters. So there's as much effort's gone in to the bits you can't see as the bits that you can see.
Yep. And if I was buying a 996 Turbo and I wanted to plus it, what would you recommend I put on the car and change? Is there anything that you'd think, look at that first, the suspension, or?
I would always start with mechanicals,
right?
Because you can have a car that looks pretty, but every time you get in it, it doesn't satisfy you behind the wheel. So focus on the driving experience first. Get the car to a point where every time you get in behind the wheel, you love it, you enjoy it, you just want to do more miles, and you just want to keep driving it. With these cars, they are 996 turbos are great straight out of the box. Mm-hmm. Sometimes just want a bit more of an exhaust note. So First thing to do is to switch out the exhaust to something that's a bit more in keeping with how Porsches used to sound in the 70s. And then, just sharpening up the suspension, replacing bushes and components. You don't actually have to switch out suspension for a different manufacturer. You can go with OE stuff, but just replacing it because of the age of the car.
And the common stuff is like your coffin arms and your...
Coffin arms, diagonal arms, again, calipers, the seals on the calipers, rebuilding the calipers, a powder coating on the outside of the caliper, the lacquer starts flaking off. Right. So, and again, that's both function and cosmetic. The calipers being rebuilt so they work properly. And then when you look through the wheel, you kind of want to see them looking nice.
You do, you really do. And in suspension upgrades, you said this has got KWs on it?
Got KWs, yeah.
Would you recommend KW? I mean, there's obviously Bilstein, there's Öhlins.
Yeah, that's probably one of the toughest questions I get asked all the time is which suspension manufacturer would you choose? You guys offer a very good range of different manufactured suspension. And each brand does a slightly different thing. So if you want to use it on the road, then you would go for, it's more finding out what the owner wants to use the car for and how they're going to drive it.
Right.
And then you choose the suspension kit. So this guy likes road driving, but fast road driving. So the KWs deal with that really well. Yeah, as we walk further around the car and get inside, you can obviously see that the centre console has been body coloured.
Yeah.
Again, the whole car has got paint protection film, and so is the centre console. And it's just honing in on the little details. Any of the scuff plates have been changed. The Bose logo's in the door, in the door speaker grills. It's got the new generation nav system in it. But again, we have retained as much of the original interior as possible, you know, refurbishing and cleaning whatever we can to kind of keep it original.
Yeah, it looks pretty smart inside, that's for sure.
And then if we kind of flick round to the rear, obviously you can see the car has got the Aero Kit spoiler and it's got the standard front bumper. We wanted to keep the Aero spoiler because it's kind of just adds another level to the back of the car. Mainly looks fairly standard in there. You can see a few little giveaways with the Forge Motorsport pipes and the DVs. It's got RSS mounts in it. Again, the Klein exhaust, new tips. It's had a full titanium stud conversion on the cylinder heads rather than bolts holding the manifolds on. It's got studs.
So why would you choose titanium?
Again, on these they just put bolts in, so if you ever have to change them, the bolts tend to shear.
Right, okay.
So if you stud them, and then you ever need to take them off, nuts come off easier than the bolts in aluminium. So it's just a process thing.
And then with the engine mounts, why would you pick the RSS?
Just sharpen up the back of the car.
Right.
Again, these have got the hydraulic engine mounts, so they can get a bit soggy. Again, you can change out for brand new, and it makes a world of difference. Right. But this car's kind of gone on a bit of a next phase on kind of thing. So it looks stock from the tailpipes, but when you fire it up, you can hear it's not. So it's kind of street sleepery.
Yeah.
But there are giveaways, you know, the noise, the stance of the car.
Can we start it up?
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds great.
And at idle, it's just like we can talk around the car. But there, when you're on the open road, as you can probably hear it's got some real grunt.
Nice. Mikey, what's next for this 996 Turbo?
So how you've seen it today is literally it's in shakedown phase. So we're just testing now, getting rid of any little niggles like rattles and creaks, and getting it so it's perfect, ready for the owner to have. He's not actually driven the car. He's seen it in videos and pictures, but he's not actually seen it yet and been in it. So we want that experience when he gets behind the wheel for the first time and comes and sees a car that he hasn't got to deal with, you know, those little niggles that you would normally get.
So when the last time he saw it, was it a silver car?
In the flesh, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to have a.
But he's had lots of video updates from us and stuff. So he's, you know, he's been really pleased with the progress and kind of how it's all come out. And the video thing's been great because he's been able to see how it's evolved, and if he wants to make any changes on things, he's been able to do that.
So you do step-by-step videos of the actual journey. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's been a lovely project to do. Really nice project to do, and it's nice to work with someone that cares about the attention to detail that we put in, and he can see that, and then that feeds him more. And you know, so it's a lovely journey. It's nice to work with people like that. Brilliant. And then, you know, when you're getting, you know, the car painted, and all the guys that are working on prepping the car for paint and painting it are putting all the passion and the effort in. You guys supplying bits. You know, it all works.
Brilliant.